Hey guys, this is Christian765 here. After recording my last video, a certain thought had occurred to me, and that is Tekken Cross Street Fighter was announced a long time ago, and a lot of people are starting to wonder what's going on with it. Well, I don't really have all the answers, but I can tell you whatever's going on with it is going to be the best fucking thing ever, and it's going to blow everybody's minds at the fucking skulls because. Well, here's the thing. Now, Capcom, they announced Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and in a little after a year after they announced it, I believe it was like a year. They came out with Street Fighter Cross Tekken, complete freaking disaster. It was like one of the funnest games for a while, but then you start to notice things, and then the bad thing about those things are bad people start to notice those bad things, like the pressure game, the timeouts, the gyms, and all of the chronic seizures that the fucking colors cause people to have. But that's something that you can kind of overlook, but it's just the fact that it was kind of poorly put together. Like, nobody wants to see Tekken characters all blocky and chunky like that. They should have stuck with it. Just reminds people of how they should have just stuck with the animated look from the Alpha series or even the earlier games. But so the Tekken Cross Street Fighter was never meant to be announced when it was announced. Street Fighter Cross Tekken was supposed to be the only thing that was announced, but as we all realize now that Tekken Cross Street Fighter is a thing, if Namco would have had it a different way, I'm sure they would have announced it probably sometime at this E3, if anything, or even last E3. Because what they got right now, what they got going on right now is the repercussions of what Capcom did. Capcom, as producer Tekken says, they jumped the gun. Capcom, they announced Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and they announced Tekken Cross Street Fighter for Namco. Namco never wanted that shit to be announced. It was supposed to be a surprise. But we are avidly waiting for it. I'm sure it's going to be the best thing ever. Tekken Tag 2, I think it's the best Tekken in the series. Like, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Like, the thing is, I have much more love and nostalgia for Tekken Tag, the original one, because it shares a special place in my heart. I got it for my birthday. It introduced like new things that the Tekken series never had. It had Tag. It had a large roster of characters, beloved characters that are thought to be dead, and they brought them back. No matter if they had characters that already took their place or not, they were brought back, which I really dug a lot. Now, in Tekken Tag 2, I thought Tekken Tag 2 would never happen. I thought Tekken Tag was so perfect as it was as a kid that they would never make another one, and I was always hoping that they would, though, in which they did, which is amazing. I love that they made another Tekken Tag, and they put all the characters in there besides Gon. And I thought that Michelle and Kunimitsu and June and Angel would never make it. When I saw June, I had hope. When I saw Ogre, I had hope. I seen Japachi, I had hope. When I seen June and I seen Michelle, I almost fucking cried. Like, I remember waking up and realizing, oh my god, they have a trailer for Michelle, Kunimitsu, Angel, and Ogre. Then they made it sweeter by putting in P-Jack, Forest Law, Dr. Boskanovich, etc., etc. They made it sweeter that way, which I was always happy for. So I respect Tekken Tag 2, but in the grand scheme of things, if you look at Tekken Tag 2 and all the fan service that it brought to fighting game fans, it kind of raised the bar, whereas other fighting game companies, they would just sort of they'd give us like DLC characters that we had to pay for, whereas Namco, they gave us some characters that we could just have for free and early too, before anybody else, if we wanted them that bad. That's what I'm thinking is what we're going to see out of Tekken Cross Street Fighter when it happens. Is it going to play like Tekken Revolution? I hope not, because it takes out depth from the game. Like, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, it has some sort of depth to it, and I respected it much more than I did Street Fighter as a standalone series. you know. But Tekken Cross Street Fighter is gonna be out of this world. I can already tell you that. And the reason why I say this is because I feel like they're gonna have customization for all characters. They're gonna have a bunch of fan favorites. And I feel like they're gonna keep adding characters until we feel satisfied. You know, personally, I would feel good with just a 40 character roster. I mean, that just sounds about right to me. But it takes all sorts of things to make this game. We're taking characters that have, let's say, rounded off to 12 normals per character, and we're putting them up against characters with 90 moves. And I like Tekken better, but I'm just gonna keep it all the way real with you. That's hard. That Street Fighter gives Tekken nothing to work with. Like the Tekken gave Street Fighter plenty to work with. That's why all the characters have so many moves. I mean, it's kind of bullshit because a couple of them don't have invincibility, but how are you supposed to do that? You gotta think, because there are characters in Street Fighter which have the same styles as characters in Tekken, and you have to decide: do I take this move set? Do I take this move from this character and give it to this character because this character has nothing? And the music and the stage, it all has to be delicately picked. Street Fighter Cross Tekken was just sort of slopped out. They put a bunch of shit that didn't really matter. Not a bunch of cross stages. They put in some stages people forgot about. Like Tekken, they put in. Well, this isn't really a stage in Tekken, but they put in Heihachi's Tekken 2 music and his Tekken 3 arcade music, which a lot of people didn't really know was music from Tekken or whatever. And yeah, I mean, Capcom people, I see they're getting impatient. I see Namco people are getting impatient, but I believe without a shadow of a doubt that Tekken Cross Street Fighter will blow people's minds and will be a game that people will beg to see a sequel of, because I mean, nobody's begging to see Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and that's because the fighting isn't that great. But Tekken Cross Street Fighter, if Street Fighter fans can get into Tekken, and the fanboys can just blow all that shit out the water, it's really an intricate game that anybody can play, but it's hard to master. As I'm sure it's the opposite for Street Fighter, where not a lot of people can play, and it's easy to master, but I don't know, hard to get good. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that since I haven't seen a Tekken Cross Street Fighter trailer yet, and a lot of people are missing E3 and are watching E3 and not seeing anything. But keep it locked. Tokyo Game Show is coming up, and so is the ALU show, hopefully, and that's where Tekken Tag 2 was revealed. So hopefully, we will see something pretty soon. All right, everybody, peace.